Yes, everyone, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur, and it is going to be the first Twitter Reacts of the season post-QPR, a 2-0 win, and I'm looking forward to many more watch-alongs and many more Twitter Reacts. But please, everybody, if you can for us, do smash that like button for us. Get in those comments down below what your favorite of these tweets were, and also as well, it would be a massive support if you could hit that like, because it does take a bit of work for Dave and I to put these all together, and if you want to support the channel even further, think about grabbing a membership as well. But Dave, it's good to have Twitter Reacts back, isn't it?
Oh, it's great to have Twitter Reacts back, Jack. I've always said this is where Spurs fans are at the best, when we're winning and when the cockerel's crowing. So I can't wait to get into this. I can already see one or two that's coming up that's got me, excited and laughing. So let's go, Jack.
All right, and we'll go straight into it. Kulusevski's assist in two consecutive games. We're so back. I think Kulusevski has been a frustrating player for certain people, but Dave, he has been quite effective in actually being that guy who's played the final pass or who's been that link-up person in a lot of the beautiful moves that we have seen in these early stages of the preseason. So Kulusevski, I think, has started off actually quite strongly so far. Mikey Moore assist. Rio Ferdinand seemed to like it, Dave. I think it was Ballon d'Or worthy. Michael Hamilton saying, yep, this was me on Wednesday night, seeing Archie Gray, seeing Bergvall and Gray, then seeing Gray, Hall, Moore, Donnelly, and Lancashire. Let me just make the image a bit easier for you guys to be able to read here as well. It's not coming up fully on screen, but I think you guys can get the picture. Just seeing such a brilliant list of academy talents really does get us going. India saying, highlight of the first half for me personally. Emerson and Yves Bissouma, a little dap up between the two.
Reminds me of, who was it, Ali and Son, didn't they used to have a handshake? It reminds me of them days, Jacko.
Definitely, or even, it's kind of like a Harry Kane, sort of sunny connection there, if you will. Ayudi pointing out that Jed Spence seems to be getting pretty comfortable about the rest of his teammates, pointing out that Pape's, if you haven't caught this, Dave, Pape had a wonderful kind of crossbar challenge, you could say, with himself here. And Jed Spence is actually pointing out that maybe Pape is sort of maybe exaggerating maybe the celebration here, considering that Jed Spence is saying this was actually his fifth attempt.
It's from the halfway line nearly, though.
Well, Jed Spence doesn't seem too impressed by it, Dave. Maybe he's quite confident right now. It's
good to see him settling in, though, Jack.
Definitely. This Mikey Moore preseason job before he wins us our first trophy in 16 years whilst doing his GSCs at the same time. What is brilliant about Lamine Yamal is I remember in the last preseason games we were watching, we were absolutely ripping apart, Sergio Reguilón for this defensive performance, only to then find out, I guess, a year later that Lamine Yamal is quite good at football. I wonder if Mikey Moore is going to be doing similar things to Premier League left backs, Dave.
Look, I think there's a potential if we keep developing him. You look at him, he's absolutely sensational. The ball's glued to his feet and he's direct. And not only that, he can cross the ball with the instep, the outstep. It's absolutely sexy to watch. It's silky. So I think we've got a good generational talent on our hands, and England fans should be excited because he's English.
Yves Bissouma calling Ange Postecoglou the big boss, as he should be. He is the boss, and he's had a strong start to the campaign, Yves Bissouma, so far this summer. Tottenham youngster and goalkeeper who performed great today against QPR with Spurs legend Pat Jennings. Well, he's definitely got some good goalkeepers, generations, and good goalkeeper influences to work off of. Young Luca Gunter does. And Johnny H saying, is it wrong for me to keep the match ball? This guy, Dave, he was absolutely in the best seat in the house. If on the halfway line, really close to the action. Do you blame him for taking a match ball with him?
To be honest with you, Jack, if I didn't already have a gut on me and I was, skinny as Johnny, I would have whipped it under the jersey and pretend it was a beer gut.
Maybe that's why you bring me to the games then. Yves Bissouma says whenever it's summer, or Owen THFC, Yves Bissouma, whenever it's the summer, it's when he plays his best. Maybe you just need the weather to be a bit warmer for Yves, and then he can really bring out his best stuff.
Great goal from him today, by the way. Great goal.
Gus the Yid bringing us back to this old timeless picture from Jed Spence. Is he in this moment right now, Jed Spence? Is he feeling this confident as he was in this picture?
It's looking like it, Jack. He's looking like a very assured player out there. And look, I hope he finds that confidence back. The club knocked his confidence, the way we handled the situation. So I'm glad to see him finally getting back into a good headspace and a good space on the pitch. Let's finally give him an opportunity.
THFC Micah, Dave, he was having to take a break until Yves Bissouma scored a goal, and he tweeted that on June 8th. Looks like he didn't have to wait too long, only about a month. You could pretty much call it a summer vacation off of Twitter.
No, look, he was absolutely sensational, last summer, and I presume it was the same for him last summer. He probably went hiding, 8 games into the season when Bissouma went hiding. Good to see him back. Welcome back.
If you ever have a real strong love for a certain player, maybe just do a similar thing to what Micah did there, which is, take your mind off of Twitter, put that pressure on them, and then they'll find their form quickly again. Alex pointing out that Ange Postecoglou made a good effort to take a photo and greet every single fan who made the trip out to QPR. I think our one and only Brad Matthews had actually walked over 10 kilometers back and forth to get to the game. So I hope Brad Matthews maybe got a moment with our lovely Big Ange. Simon Yemaine saying he only played 26 minutes today versus QPR, but he was the best player on the pitch yet again. Barrickval, Dave, I mean, it was a hard one to guess, how good this kid could be because he was only playing in the Swedish league, and for a team like, Djurgården as well, which we're not really too sure, what their level really is. But Bergvall, I mean, has he surprised you how good he's been so far? Do you think he's first team quality?
Yeah, he surprised me so much, Jack. I thought there would be maybe a bit of an adaptation period, but one thing maybe I didn't factor in, the fact that we're in possession so much of the ball. How often is he actually going to have to rely on that physicality compared to maybe under managers? Second halves against QPR is sensational with the end product to match 9 times out of 10. It was consistent, and then in this game for the first 20 minutes, he was absolutely electric. At one stage, he told Son to take a rest. I'll go and do the chasing down for you. I mean, he's an absolute player's dream, and for me, if we want to get off to nice, quick, sharp starts in the Premier League, a midfield with him and Papa Matasar has to happen.
Has to happen, says Dave. Luca M saying making the country's best midfield prospect, Archie Gray, into a backup center back. It's only what Ange Postecoglou can do, really. It's the Big Ange way, isn't it? Spurs play when more than 7 people start using the app.
Felt like that today, to be fair. It was shocking.
Even they had more of a nightmare than even our watch along, and to consider the budget that they have, I mean, that £45 subscription fees that they use to keep the app going. I wish we could have something similar. Axel THFC, just enjoying Kulusevski's brilliance in the game. I mean, he played that gorgeous pass, Dave, in behind here to the on-running, I believe, Werner, and Werner, in true Werner fashion, did end up missing the chance, but it was some silky play out from the back. It
was
Spurs.
An outside of the boot one. It was sexy. Yeah, look at that.
Absolutely.
Boom.
Gorgeous.
That's beautiful.
Play.
2J, that video at the very start of Expressions Dancing, that's me when you come at me about Kulusevski right now.
THFC Matthews saying hopefully this will give him some confidence that we can see the start of last season Yves Bissouma again. Is there fear in you, Dave, that we could get a strong start from Bissouma again, but then a bit of a tail off kind of towards the mid-season? Is this a guy that sort of plays in patches of form, or do you think he'll be able to replicate that beginning season form for the whole season?
Look, it is a big worry of mine. It is a big concern, Jack. I think we forget, this guy's had 2 seasons at Tottenham, and he's had about a run of 8 good games underneath Antonio Conte. He couldn't get into the team, because of tactics. But this time around, Ange Postecoglou has put a lot of faith in him, and the first 8 games, he was absolutely sensational, but then he went absolutely hiding, and many fans were left questioning, this is Bissouma, where is it when we seen it earlier on in the season, and can he maintain that sort of energy over the whole season? That's the challenge to him this season. Let's wait and see.
Our man Alex, a lot of Alexes in the house tonight on the Twitter Reacts. He was able to get a photo with our Big Ange. It's a good one indeed. I like the angle of it. No Context Tottenham has I think just asked Yves Bissouma a question here about his goal, and in true Yves Bissouma fashion, it's just all vibes.
Loves it.
He's just enjoying his time, isn't he, out on the pitch? And it looks like Attack the Space has something to prove to us, Dave. And I think it has to do with Luca Gunter. Attack the Space saying, I don't want to say I told you so. If Gunter impresses you lot, remember I was here from day one. Dave, Luca Gunter, I know you've watched plenty of under-21s. Mm-hmm. The performance that he had today, is that a surprise to you? Have you seen something like that from him before? What did you make of his performance today? Because he actually was one of my favorite standouts.
No, I'm not surprised though. I've seen this from him before. I've seen better saves from Luca Gunter before, believe it or not. So if you think that's good, go and watch some of his highlight from the under-21 campaign last season. And he came to prominence most when Spurs needed him in the playoff run. You know, he pulled off magnificent saves. And, you know, a common theme is he's comfortable on the ball. He's good at throwing it out. He's good at kicking it. And I think there's a lot more to come from Luca Gunter. It's very interesting. You know, we've got Vicario. Brandon Austin is putting in some decent performances. Remains to be seen how he goes along. But then you've got the likes of Josh Keeley and Luca Gunter both fighting for a minute. So, you know, we're well stocked up at goalkeeper right now, and it's exciting. Luca Gunter, you know, I'm delighted for him. He put in a great shift today, great performance. And that's not the only time he started quick attacks either. Fair play to him. He took his opportunity.
Nice to know that we have practically Ireland's, you know, best young, you know, really, really young keeper and talent. And then we also have one of England's best young keeper talents as well in the under-21 bracket. Big Ange ball is in full force now that we're seeing Yves Bissouma come alive once again here. And it was a brilliant goal individually from him, but also your favorite, Dave Kulusevski, once again, right, involved in this play, right? This is the sort of link-up play that's been nice from Kulusevski. This is what we've been looking for from him kind of in kind of the tail end of last season. And let's hope that we get some more of that going into this season, you know, from Kulusevski. A bit more of this kind of link-up play, this back-to-goal type of play that we know he can do. And part of the reason why you even think he could be a striker is because he knows how to be able to link up with other players in this type of way.
It's exactly why he should be a striker. It's perfect. It's a great 1-2. You know, just play off him. Because he's good, he draws people to him, and he's able to lay it off. And what I love about that is Bissouma taking the extra touch around the keeper.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
In true Dave Harris style. Ange Postecoglou walking past Yves Bissouma during a post-match interview and whispering to him it was only a friendly Biss. It's a joke about the midfielder's first goal for the club. Bissouma was very proud of himself, Dave, and he's a guy, right, who has a bit of a lax attitude when he's actually not playing. When Bissouma, he's kind of night and day with his expressions, right? When he's on the pitch, he actually looks like one of the most serious players out there, right? He looks very concentrated, really seems to be a very intense guy on the pitch. But the moment that he's off it, he is a bit all vibes. And he definitely was enjoying himself with his brilliant goal. And Ange Postecoglou just warning him not to get too excited, not to get too full of it. But I don't know. I think Yves Bissouma should be proud of himself. It was a brilliant goal.
I love the banter between the two of them. You can tell Postecoglou and Bissouma has a sick relationship already, and hopefully it only blossoms and Bissouma gets better because of it.
Ange is perhaps the Yves Bissouma whisperer. Bissouma, Dave, when he was on the team bus earlier, he was actually asking Timo, Madison, Jed Spence, and everyone who his favorite player he's ever played with is. In case you guys didn't pick up the audio, he was asking all of his teammates who the best player he's ever played with, and he did, let's say, force an answer out of them when it comes to...
I would just say, Jack, they've clearly never played with Dembele, right?
Well, Bissouma, he's very, like I said, he's very happy with himself after that goal. Patty saying, just a bit sore and nothing significant. The footballing gods are with us this season. Could we? Well, Bergvall, he looks to be a special player. Could he, in fact, deliver something for us? Zoe saying the season starts in 4 weeks today at Spurs official. TikTok. Zoe, I like her priorities, Dave. I like their priorities. You know, she's making sure that Spurs official, they aren't getting too wrapped up in these friendlies. They got to start getting these transfers over the line, especially in the forward line. Owen THFC saying, individually, I like both Timo Werner and Brennan Johnson, and I do think both get loads of unfair stick from the fans. However, playing them on the wings together at the same time is just not it. Watching either of them attempting a cross is painful. I would say it's not as bad as having to watch England or France during the Euros, but it is something close, you know, having to watch Johnson or Werner, you know, being put in a good position and all they need to do is just square it across goal. I mean, these guys really do know how to make a meal of a good chance and a good opportunity to just play someone else. And Dave, I mean, Timo Weenie and Brennan Johnson, I've called them chaos merchants. They can be good chaos merchants and bad chaos merchants, but playing them at the same time, you do get a bit frustrated by sometimes their just lack of clinicalness.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, they're both so underwhelming, you know, that you just can't play them at the same time because, unfortunately, the consistency just is not there. They buy themselves a lot of patience and credence with the fan base because, you know, they do 89 minutes of absolutely nothing and then they step up with a quick assist or a quick goal inside the 6-yard box, you know, where everyone else has done the work for them and they get away with it. And I think that tweet is absolutely spot on. We've seen last season, you can't have the two of them playing in the same forward line together.
Jed Spence Nation, we never left, says Jacoby. Jed Spence Nation is certainly feeling very, very strong at the moment. And plenty of people pointed out to us in our video title that, is Jed Spence going to take advantage of this second chance? And they were saying he wasn't even being given a chance in the first place. This is still his first chance to impress. And I think that's probably a better take. It's just that Dave and I, we were going for a sensational title, and Jed Spence hopefully can forgive us for that. And I hope he continues to impress Postecoglou and continues to give him something to think about. Patty saying, what has Phillips got to do to start a game? Skip starting at left-sided center back again was a bit odd, Dave. What do you think Ange is doing by that? Why is he leaving Phillips out?
I'm not quite so sure. Maybe some of the players we've seen in the second half are the ones that may be fighting to stay here rather than be sent out on loan. I'm not sure why we're seeing Skip there. I'm not sure what the benefit is. We're not going to see Skip play there at all across the campaign, and if we do, it probably highlights that we haven't done enough in the summer transfer window and there needs to be questions asked. So, look, I don't get it. Maybe he just wants to have a natural centre-back playing in that team in the second half, considering there's a lot of youngsters ahead of it. Maybe that's the only other thing I can think of.
Carly T saying this downgrade in the away kits has been diabolical. You agree?
Oh, completely agree, Jack. You know me, I said last year's away one was my favourite one that Nike have made. I think this one on its own, as a kit, it looks better. But on its own, it just looks like a curtain or carpet or a wallpaper from a seedy gentleman's club. It's not for me, this one on its own.
Or in Ribsy85's words, he thinks it looks like a ship liner's carpet flooring, I guess, which is very specific. I actually really like them both, to be perfectly honest. I think they're both kind of, how would I put it, like fashionable kind of designs. Like I like the collar and the simpleness of last year's. I think it had a really good kind of color combination there. Just was a classy, smart looking kit is maybe the right word. Whereas this one is a bit more in kind of the fashionista kind of hipster side of things, where it does look good, I think, with like a pair of jeans, or would look good if you were kind of going out somewhere, and wanted to still rep the Spurs. I like this kit, this away kit. Am I going to buy it? Am I going to get it myself? I'm not sure yet, but I don't mind it, really. I don't think it's actually as bad as maybe others would say. And some of the players in our team, actually, like players like Sonny, I thought actually looked pretty good in it, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. Billy saying Bergvall is him. Everybody seems to be all over Bergvall. They're absolutely loving what he's been producing on the pitch. And then Johnny H saying, my QPR mate said he had a seat for me close to the action. This is definitely what you'd call close to the Spurs action. I mean, Dave, Johnny H, he's got a great Twitter, and he's got a great Spurs life.
No, he has the dream life of any Spurs fan, to be brutally honest. Goes to every single game, seems to end up in great seats all the time, and if he can't get a ticket through the Spurs way, he knows a friend or that supports another club where he can get a ticket. Some guy, and not only that, he's fantastic to chat to about Tottenham Hotspur, and I'm delighted he had a great day out. And he goes to game in style, shades, hat, absolutely love it.
He's got the nice bag as well, he's repping. And
Bissouma would love him.
And I thought we'd end on a more classy note, because this is such a classy player and such a classy human being. But in case you missed this, everybody, Tyrese Hall was in fact donating signed Spurs kits and memorabilia to a local school in the Tottenham area. And I just thought, it's something that, in case you might have missed it, is worth pointing out, that this guy is just a classy man and a classy individual, and we look forward to seeing plenty more of him in a Spurs shirt, but also plenty more moments like this that maybe doesn't always get the airwaves or get the attention that maybe it deserves. So I just thought Tyrese Hall, looking forward to him getting some more recognition for good acts like these, and just like to see a guy that's passionate about the club, but also passionate about his local area.
No, it's absolutely fantastic. It's incredible from the kid. It's so humble of him. He could say, look, I'm trying to concentrate on getting into the first team. He hasn't. Really humble of the kid. And I'm glad. Do you know what I love about it? He hasn't forgotten where he's came from, and he understands the value of trying to give young kids a help up, trying to make their life easy, and stuff like that. So fair play to him. What a guy.
Yeah. And I think we'll end things off there. Dave, any final words from yourself? First Twitter reacts of the season. Only going to get better from here on out, everybody. But we thought we'd get the ball rolling on these fan cams, on the Twitter reacts. The season is well and ahead, and I'm looking forward to plenty more Spurs content with you all, as well as with Dave, and recording these for the upcoming season. But Dave, any final words from yourself?
Yeah, if you want to get involved and you want to see us react to things, make sure you tag either myself or Jack on Twitter. For the next show, make sure you get it done an hour or two after the game, because that's when we usually go and sit down and make these. And guys, that's 2 from 2. Roll on the preseason tour. I'm excited. Let's go. See you all back here Monday night for the fan show.
And smash the like button on your way out, everybody. And also on Monday, there should be another video coming your way, something about Archie Gray that you should be looking forward to as well. So stay tuned for that one. But we will be seeing you. Come on, you Spurs. In the Big Ange we trust. Looking forward to plenty more Twitter reacts after this one. It's only getting better from here on out. And we'll be seeing you, everybody.
Things will only get better.